cream of anything into a soup?
I just never actually got that on there. I got my drum side. I got my Muppets.
Cream of salt soup.
Weird.
How do you get a cream of something?
I think the idea is that you're adding cream to and then that thing, right? So cream of baby would be cream and then baby. Cream of wheat would be cream.
Oh my god.
But why is it?
You're right, it's not cream of, it should be cream and. It should be cream and.
Right, or yeah.
Cream and broccoli, not cream of broccoli. Where's the cream?
Well, yeah, cream of sounds like it's the product of the thing.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree, it's misleading. The best lying is reality.
I think they should call. I want there to be a soup that is like that, where it extracts the precious cream out of whatever it is.
So for Christmas, I don't know if you saw.
Like that would be cream of cream.
I love that.
Cream of cow.
Cool.
Cream of
I got a
milk.
cricket for Christmas.
Cream of butter.
Cream of milk of cream of milk too.
Me a cricket for
It
Christmas,
happened. You
and
should say it
so
twice.
I'm like, I got to do some cool, fun stuff with this. Anyways, I love that. It's so cool. Can you have me the pepper, honey?
Yes. If you can tell me where in the broccoli is the cream of the broccoli. What do I look like, a condiment hander?
I'm trying not to reach because I have my big heavy jacket on and it's like in my way of the
No,
food.
that was fine. I was just good.
In fact, why don't you help me take it off?
Okay.
And then take yours off too.
Not right this second. Here, I'll pull your sleeve. Give me your arm. All right, you got it.
I'm pushing this table out a little bit.
Whoa.
Guys.
If you were going to write a book, Aaron, what would you write a book about?
I know, but I'm just thinking, what could I write that would add value to the world?
Well, let me change the question. You're visiting one day another country's a dictatorship.
No.
They've arrested you. Everything's delicious. And they said, if you want to get out of our dictatorial prison, you must write a book. And we will not let you out until you are done.
I have to write this book?
You can write about whatever you want, but it better be good.
God, good is relative.
Or else we're going to publish a scathing review in the newspaper.
Okay, I could do it. That sounds good. I guess I really admire, and I don't know if it says you can write one without.
Would you write about a person?
Well,
Is there anybody that you know about?
kind of sucks. I mean, generally speaking. They're good, but then they're bad. It's great. I think I would write more. I feel like history, though. I always find, I love history. I love how to do things. I love books on. I like instructions. I like things like that. I think it's or the history behind something.
Now, keep in mind, you can do no research in this Argentinian prison.
Okay. I would think I would want to write a book about how dumb the construct of time is. Like how annoying it is that we run around just not a time sink. I would like to write a book justifying the lack of caring about it.
No, senor. You have to write a novel.
Don't you think it's our
What is the
jobs
story
that
going to be about?
created that time?
For jobs? Well, I mean, it probably started
Like our
farming.
jobs?
It probably was a necessity out of farming. You know, like, I mean, generally speaking, you get people with day cycles, night cycles. Like in some places that aren't time-centric at all, you just show up and listen to lectures when you show up. So that's kind of on you. They say Brazil or farming. The person against Brazil played on Friday.
Like in Europe, it's a pretty standard thing where they all start work at 4 or 6 a.m. in the morning, and then they take from 12 to 12 to 3 off, and like everything shuts down and everybody just.
But
If I had to define novel and I could write a book, I'd just write a children's book about a little thing I came up with called a churro corn. The idea is like a donkey throws a churro out of the top of its head instead of like a unicorn, right? Because like a unicorn's a prestigious and has this like magical horn, but why not like a little donkey and all he does is throws just a churro.
it's the Mexican unicorn.
And then if you like eat the churro, like he gets kind of sad about it, like Eeyore-esque, but then he grows it back slowly, so it's not like a big deal. It's just kind of like a personal letdown when you eat this horn. Because then he's kind of a normal donkey between now and the time the horn grows back.
He always hopes
That
the Mexican children will come and ride him, but instead they always just come up and eat his churro.
Everybody just break his damn horn off as soon as the group, like halfway.
Nobody likes me for me. They only want my churro.
Yes. If I could get away with a book, like this, again, this is a kid's book, so I got like 20 pages into this. I don't have to.
Hey, what
really
is
rushing through this book.
I'm trying to get out of prison.
what
I'm
what
trying to get out
is
of like an Argentinian prison.
what is churro
Get
key?
0 6 in prison except for paper.
Oh no, you're getting
You know what I'm
it.
saying?
You're getting it, but you're
Yeah,
on the
you're damn
receiving.
right I'm on a rush. Yeah.
So
Okay, so but here's the thing. What is the backstory of churro corn? Before churro corn became the sad sack that he currently is,
Right? Like baby
was he originally just a regular donkey that came to that had some sort of thing happen to him, or is it evolution?
I want to think it's like mythic, like it's like mythic lore, kind of like the seventh son is a vampire. You know what I mean? I don't know what number would it come up with. I don't know. Like a certain amount, like you have 7 male donkeys, like
Okay.
8th donkey.
Okay. Here's an element we can include. Okay.
All right.
The ancient Mayan cinnamon stash underneath the Mayan temple.
Okay.
The donkey was working for an archaeologist who was exploring in the temple when, of a sudden, it fell through the floor and plunged neck deep into this powerful mystic cinnamon of the ancient Mayans. And then when he came out, he just shook it off. He didn't think anything was going to happen. But then the next day, woke up a little nub.
Right.
nub. Woke up with a little nub.
Little nub.
There needs to be like it needs like a Charlotte element. Like it needs like
A tragic
some other
element.
animal has to recognize how wonderful it is and worry about it for it. Because we kind of like too sad to do.
Okay.
Like some pig, but
Listen,
delicious churro.
if you don't eat the churro, it will eventually grow into something that
Far more powerful than a unicorn. But the problem is, never able to recognize it, to realize it.
I have a petite filet with mashed potatoes.
Oh, I think we both got the same one.
Oh, we did, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which temperature is it?
This petite filet.
Mine is the rare.
This one's not butterflied.
Okay, that would be.
Fine. Okay.
hers is not butterflied.
This is not butterflied, and this is one more on the rare side.
Sorry. Yeah. Mashed potatoes dry over here.
Okay.
Yeah. Be careful, okay?
Yeah, that's right, chicken? Yeah.
Fry those mashed potatoes. Okay, so
Okay, no regrets.
here's what I'm thinking. It's a moral. The moral of the story is this: that if you're greedy children, then you'll always have to get shitty Mexican churro. But if you just let it grow, it would eventually turn into an actual donut.
This is like that marshmallow thing they do with the kids, right? Where it's like, do you want to eat this marshmallow, or do you wait 10 minutes? And like, that's the moral of the story. Yeah, you just turn it into that right there.
Yeah, and this explains the old Mexican aphorism: "Don't eat the donkey's churro,"
Yes.
which is often confusing to people.
And I would probably, in that situation, be trying to figure out how to also relate that to my rectum, considering prison that I was trying to.
Oh, I've got good news. It's only a heavy petting prison. Anyway, I think the sequel to Churro Corn is.
Is there really something called churro corn?
There is now.
No, but there should be, right?
There is. It exists now. We've talked about
Yeah, I
it.
guess
You exist. You made it exist when you came up with it,
Right.
and then its existence is solidified by our conversation.
Yeah, there you go.
I think the sequel should be called "Hay demasiado chupacabras en este pueblo," which means
Ooh, I do like a rivalry with the chupacabra.
that's right. There are too many.
Like that idea.
There are too many chupacabras in this pueblo, and churro corn
Right.
saves the day.
Because you think about the mythic beasts that come from Mexico, you think chupacabra, and what else? Nothing.
Churro
Like
corn.
pretty much that's This is like the there's light
They
and dark
only
in the
have the
world.
chupacabra?
Well, I mean, I think churro corn's destined to become like their Superman, their Batman, their Santa Claus. The churro has multiple possibilities. So, like if he's being gentle churro corn and presenting to a child, the child can just take a bite of it and eat it. But if he's in a fight, he can use it as a weapon and it becomes hard to steal.
There you go. There you go. I kind of feel like there's got to be something that ties it back around to Mini Kitty to churro, like. I mean, because most things like that are always written about. You write all these fairy tales to teach children not to do horrible things or whatever, right? I mean,
Okay.
I grew up on some books. They're translated to like Shockheaded Peter, but like I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the German pronunciation, but like it's just a book full of stuff that were just like fairy tales that scare the crap out of people.
Well, even just our normal, not our fairy tales, but our normal nursery rhymes. When you really pay attention to the words, it's like,
I am going to murder you all, stab you in the stomach.
Did you understand those from early on?
Like Bring Around the Rosie,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, about the plague. My son's suffering through right now.
I'm surprised your mother doesn't sing that song. Every time we get together with his mother, she's talking about people dying. And then they all die.
It does happen. Only kiddo? Did I understand that right? Only kid? You have a brother or sister? No?
Wasn't a child.
I have an only child. So
How was that? Good, bad? Otherwise, what's your thoughts on it? I'm in a weird world where I have one, but I'm looking at murder. Looking at a murder.
I thought it was great being an only child. I didn't ever want a brother or sister,
No.
and I was satisfied with one kid. I wasn't really set on I only want one kid. I thought I wanted more, but it just one was adequate. Once I had one, I was like, yeah, great, thank you.
Steak sauce.
It was like that checks out that box,
Right. Well, and you're in the same boat, right? I mean, with the last only kiddo? Yeah.
Yeah.
So only kiddo of an only kiddo?
I'm not an only child. I feel like an only child with an only child. Does that make sense?
Sort of.
You have a child that's an only child?
Yeah, her child's an only child.
But you feel like an only child because
Yeah, I have a
you're-
sister, but not real close to her.
Gotcha.
Are you an only child?
No, no. I'm depending on how you want to look at things. I've got a full-blooded sister, younger sister, and then I've got a half through adoption or step set of brother and sister as well. So either oldest of 4 or oldest of 2, depending on how you want to
I
look
kind
at
of
it.
have the same thing. My dad remarried when I was 8 and took on 3 boys, youngest being 5, the oldest being 13. And then we were raised together up until we were in our 20s.
Yeah.
And we all lived in the same town. And so even though we came from different, my dad's mom switched off raising us, we were all raised in the same town. So we were all really close, went to the same schools. And now my brother's revisiting after 20 years. I haven't seen him in 20 years. He has had some really, really hard times.
Yeah, yeah.
And
This was your brother over at the
at the house,
At the house.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
he's 90 days sober and
Yeah.
trying to get back on track. And
Yeah. Well, when I added my half brother and half sister through adoption, so no boys. But when I add them in, I've got an interesting scenario where it's like my full sister is married. Her husband is a lawyer, and she's a divorce attorney. And she works with him to kind of do all the accounting and all that kind of stuff. And she does very well for and I say she's making ends meet, and she's secure in the future and happy and blah blah blah. Good on her. And then my half brother is kind of the same way. He's a chemist and went into like C4 explosion, like creating exploding stuff. And manages a group of folks that build C4. So that's pretty cool. And then I got
They're called ISIS. Maybe you've heard of them.
right.
before.
Yeah, and they're a little cell of terrorists. And then my sister, my half sister, just like her
Black
name's
sheep?
Audrey. We call her Odd, because like she's odd. And she married a guy named Gravity for a little while. Had a couple kids with him.
have you met her?
Oh yeah.
You met Odd?
Oh no. Hasn't met Audrey. Hasn't met Aaron. So my half brother's name's Aaron. So we're both Aarons. A-R-O-N is what he is. I'm R-R-O-N. So
Oh, okay.
that little spelling difference comes in handy. And that was unintentional. It just happened through remarriage. Again, he's half through adoption. So it's that.
Yeah.
Do you call yourselves 1R and 2Rs?
Funny enough, we tend to call him Aaron the White because that's his middle name. So then I call him Aaron the White Boy because it's funny. But or at least it was when I was like,
Were you
third
close to
grade.
him growing up?
Way closer than I was to my sister. I think she was kind of more.
That's the right here.
Not all divorces are great, and I would say that my dad through adoption and his former wife.
How many marriages has your dad had?
3 now.
My dad's on his 4th.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, because there was his original, and then to my mother, which was.
It's a whole interesting thing to come from blended families.
Oh
in
my
your
gosh!
life.
Right.
Did you have, were your parents, how many step parents did you have along with? Just one?
I had my stepmom, and then I have the guy that my mom married, but I never really considered him my stepdad. I was already like a little older when they married. I just never had that like fatherly.
Hey, Jewel, I'm Bruce. I'm here to fuck your mom.
He was just, I don't know, it was interesting. They were together for a long time, but she moved away when I was like,
So that's when you and your mom kind of, that's about the same thing with me and my mom. My mom, when my parents divorced, we were 8, and then by the time she met her boyfriend, which wasn't too far after that. I was 8, my sister was 6, my mom was like, see ya. Alright, we lived all in the same town though, so I still saw my mom and
That's
stuff,
weird.
but she,
My mom, like, she was way up north. So, like, in 10 years, I saw her 2 times. Crazy.
My parents are still together.
That's a beautiful thing.
I was raised with 2 parents, no siblings, and really, when I was little, all my relatives that were nearby were my grandmother's brothers and sisters. Because my mom's an only child, and so it was just basically
no
grandma.
like sibling dynamic in your family at all.
It was grandma, my parents, and me. And my grandma and granddad when granddad was still alive. After granddad was killed, then it was grandma, dad, mom, and
Heard
me.
that story about his grandfather that was murdered? His grandfather was murdered when he was a teenager.
I was in 5th grade.
Oh, 10.
I was in 5th grade, and he was a pharmacist in Pasadena, and he and my grandmother owned a pharmacy. My grandmother was the first woman pharmacist in Arizona. Then she moved to LA, and she married this after my biological grandfather was a drunk and died in a drunk driving accident. After my grandmother had left him with my mom anyway. So then she married this guy, Al Cole, and he was a pharmacist too. And they both ran this pharmacy in Pasadena. Well, one day, he gets robbed. And the guys take whatever they take, the money and the pills or whatever they take. And then, what should happen? But they catch the guy. And so, they ask my grandfather, Al, to testify against the guy in court.
Whole bottle.
And he says, okay, sure, I'll go testify. But he's scheduled to testify after lunch on this one day in court. And then during the lunch break, the district attorney made a deal offer to the guy, right? And the lawyer said, I don't know how to offer it to him. He said, he's not ready to take it. He said he's not ready to take it quite yet, or something. So let me think about it over lunch. And he walked, the courthouse is near a pharmacy. He walked over to the pharmacy and shot my grandfather 5 times in the stomach. Or 7 times in the stomach.
Killed him to prevent him from testifying.
And now he's on death row. He's been on death row in California for a long time. And if you Google his name, Juan Prentice Snow, there's a bunch of California Supreme Court cases on it because he tried to pull a bunch of I had a bad lawyer shit. But the thing is, what he did was he basically sabotaged his own lawyer by being totally uncooperative, refusing to let the lawyer do anything, and then said, my lawyer didn't do anything, you know. Anyway, the Supreme Court ruled against Juan Prentice Snow. He's still on death row. And my grandmother got letters from the parole board and stuff about it, until she died. And then my parents got those same letters for a while. I don't think they've gotten one in a long time, but as far as still on death row, I guess.
That was pretty crazy though, even for your grandma to have even though she wasn't with your first biological grandfather who passed away, to have 2 spouses pass away.
And apparently,
In tragic
Well, there's
ways.
a hypothetical.
Yeah.
If one of those letters ever eventually passed to you, would you had a say in it?
which letters?
The guy asking for mercy on death row.
Oh, I mean, I would.
Take that out of the way. Sure. I'm so sorry, sir.
I would go in and say I don't object.
You'd say what?
I would say I don't object. I would say I'm not here to advocate for his release, but if you're not releasing him out of respect for the victims, then there's no more reason for that. My parents are gone. My grandma's gone.
Right.
Then if you're doing it for me, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Not because I didn't care about my grandfather or anything, but it's that I was in 5th grade when that happened.
Right.
That
That's
guy's been
crazy.
in prison ever since. It's like I'm 47 years old.
So what would you do if Prentice Snow got out and then killed someone else?
Okay,
You.
but the thing is, when I was in 5th grade, he was like in his 20s. Okay, so he's at least 15 years older than me, probably, which means he's minimum pushing 65, probably pushing 70. And if he gets out as he's like 75 years old, and he goes and kills somebody, I'll be like, I really should have listened to Kim. But really? You're still a murderous scumbag after all those years?
I think a bit of the Shawshank Redemption would have set in by that point, and he wouldn't want out because he probably is all he's ever known at that point.
Yeah, true. That's true.
I did.
Oh, there's one right.